Hello, and thank you for walking a mile in her shoes with Sarah Circle. This guided audio tour can be listened to while you walk approximately 1 mile anytime and anywhere you'd like. We at Sarah Circle are so appreciative that you've taken the time to walk with us to better understand homelessness through the eyes of those who struggle with it personally. And don't forget, Sarah Circle needs your help spreading the word about helping women who are homeless. At any point during this mile-long walk, please snap a picture or record a video of yourself using the hashtag #WelcomeHomeWalk, and be sure to tag Sarah Circle once you add it to social media. As you walk, please take care to pay attention to traffic and other pedestrians. Now let's get started. If you haven't already, you may begin your walk now. First, let us begin with a little bit of background about Sarah Circle. Sarah Circle's mission is to provide a full continuum of services for women, including housing, life necessities, and supportive services to help them permanently end their homelessness. In 1979, 3 women in the Uptown neighborhood saw the plight of women who were homeless. They were often cold and seeking shelter, hungry, highly vulnerable, and alone. Sarah Circle was started with compassion and spirit of service, and our agency continues to be a safe, welcoming place for women experiencing homelessness. With our resources and services, women are able to access shelter, food, showers, community, and ultimately, housing. Sarah Circle serves women via 3 core programs: our Daytime Support Center, interim housing, and permanent supportive housing. From our humble beginning, Sarah Circle has grown to become an agency providing a full continuum of services, but our purpose remains the same. We serve women who are homeless, with a focus on transitioning women from homelessness to permanent housing. Women like Carolyn.
I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I went to college for 2 years, but dropped out when I became pregnant. My boyfriend at the time did not stick around to support me. I signed up for classes at the Computer Learning Center, and while they initially wouldn't let me enroll because I was pregnant, I presented my determination in a persuasive letter in which I demonstrated my commitment to going to school despite my pregnancy. I ended up having a miscarriage. I graduated with honors in computer operations and was one of 2 females in my entire graduating class. Upon graduating from the program, I worked in the computer operations field. I found, though, that it was difficult to maintain a job in what seemed like mainly a man's field. I relocated to Indiana for a fresh start. I began struggling with a variety of health problems, including congestive heart failure, arthritis, and diabetes. I lost access to my source of transportation and began missing days of work. I lost my job, and soon I became homeless. In Indiana, there are not many shelters for single women, so I returned to Chicago and stayed overnight at a shelter in Uptown. It was hard getting evicted and losing my job. I had nothing. I had health issues. It's like I just cracked and gave up. I realized I needed help. Not only did I need to learn how to make better financial decisions, but I had many issues I needed to fix. I found out about Sarah Circle and started coming for case management at the Daytime Center. Case management led me to the Permanent Supportive Housing Program. Today I have my own apartment through Sarah Circle. That apartment is my home. Having my own place makes me feel secure and like I can finally take care of my health issues. It's a blessing to finally have roots again.
Now that you know a little bit more about what Sarah Circle does, let's talk more about the women coming to Sarah Circle for help. Across 3 programs, Sarah Circle serves approximately 800 women per year and houses over 100. Some women coming for help are experiencing homelessness for the first time. Others have been homeless for over a decade or more. But who are these women, and why does Sarah Circle serve adult women only? It's important to understand that women become homeless for different reasons than men. The gender pay gap continues to exacerbate poverty and homelessness among women. To further that divide, the COVID-19 pandemic is disproportionately affecting women over men. U.S. unemployment has intensified the most for the personal care, food service, and hospitality occupations where women dominate, all while women are more commonly expected to be the caregiver staying at home with children or with elderly family members. Domestic violence is another leading cause of homelessness for women. Approximately 20% of women who are homeless are survivors of domestic violence. Trauma also plays a significant role in women's homelessness. Approximately 56% of women who are homeless have been sexually assaulted, which is more than 3 times the rate for men who are homeless and for women in the general population. Not to mention the heightened risk for women to be victimized when they are on the street without the protection of shelter. Want to know some fast facts about the women coming to Sarah Circle for help? In 2019, 100% of Sarah Circle's clients had low or no income. 78% were women of color. 37% were survivors of domestic violence. 33% struggled with a mental health issue. 33% were considered chronically homeless. And 27% were living on the street or in a place not meant for human habitation when they came to Sarah Circle. At Sarah Circle, we understand that the reasons for homelessness are complex, and each woman carries her own unique story. Women like Charlotte.
My mom abandoned me and my 3 other siblings when I was less than 2 months old. We were found by the landlord coming to collect rent in a cardboard box, crying for food and dying of malnutrition. Our mom was in New York by this time on drugs. My siblings and I were taken and put in foster homes, and our foster parents were abusive. I was raped at 13, and the police blamed me for what happened, so I stopped going to the police for any help. At 16, I was living in a group home with a baby boy of my own. I was tricked out of custody of my son by the state, so I went to LA where my mom lived. At first, it was a happy reunion, but she ended up kicking me out on the street, and I got a job stripping to survive. In 1991, I came to Chicago. I hadn't dealt with my abandonment issues, and I started doing drugs. And I got in trouble with the law and found myself in jail. I heard about Sarah's Circle 25 years ago. I heard you go there, sit and get fed. They took me to drug treatment, fed me, and clothed me. I didn't commit to getting off drugs for a long time. I just needed to make it through the day then. I was homeless. I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. I wasn't ready to deal with reality. In June 2016, I met my husband and got clean. Today we live together near Uptown, and I have been working in home health services for 7 years. The support women get at Sarah's Circle is different for everyone. I needed Sarah's Circle for a hot meal, to have a place to recover, to receive the nourishment I needed to survive another day. And sometimes that's just what you need.
As the virtual nature of this event suggests, the COVID-19 pandemic continues to wreak havoc on society, but especially to those most vulnerable. Unfortunately, we are anticipating a greater demand for our services as mass evictions and layoffs continue. Across Chicago, there is an urgent need for additional beds as interim housing programs and emergency shelters have had to reduce numbers to accommodate social distancing. Because of this critical shortage, we are glad to announce Sarah Circle will operate 2 interim housing programs for the duration of 2021. Thank you again for your support. Funds raised through Winter Walk are critical in meeting the demand of our services and for allowing us to expand our interim housing program when it's needed most. Interim housing offers 24/7 supportive services to help women move quickly from homelessness to permanent housing. Unlike typical shelters, interim housing provides the stability of a temporary home so that women can work, save money, and access other resources to overcome homelessness. Additionally, we are working hard to develop a 3rd housing facility. By the time the 3rd building is finished, Sarah Circle will have over 100 units of permanent supportive housing. Now for the reason behind this Winter Walk's theme, the Welcome Home Walk. A brand new 6-story building located in the neighborhood of Uptown in Chicago is the site of Sarah's on Sheridan. We are delighted to welcome home 38 women with histories of chronic homelessness who would otherwise still be homeless if not for this project. Along with those units, Sarah's on Sheridan contains one of our 2 interim housing facilities, as well as designated rooms for social and group activities, case management, and additional storage space. If you haven't already, now would be the perfect time to snap a photo or video of yourself on this walk. Be sure to tag Sarah Circle on social media and use the hashtag #WelcomeHomeWalk. Our architectural partners Perkins and Will helped us pay homage to the original building's heritage by restoring the terracotta Viking women that adorned the building's original facade. Check out our social media to take a look at the Viking warrior and neighborhood mascot Sarah Cotta, who watches over this building. Completing Sarah's on Sheridan was made possible in large part thanks to the steadfast community support from people like you. Being able to house more women and provide them with life-saving services relies on the support from our volunteers and donors, including the substantial funds raised through the Winter Walk, A Mile in Her Shoes. We could not be more grateful to you for being an advocate for women who are homeless. Your generosity directly helps women in need, women like Elizabeth.
I grew up down south where I spent summers on my grandfather's farm. I remember running through the fields. They are my fondest memories. But he got older, reduced the farm to a couple of chickens, and eventually got cancer and passed away. Everything changed after he died. I went to live with my dad and my stepmom. She was abusive. My sisters ran away from home so much that they ended up in reform school. I was well-behaved, followed the rules, stayed home, and did my schoolwork, but I started getting depressed because of the abuse. I got emancipated at 15 and married a man who was significantly older than me. At the time where we were, that was legal. We had 2 kids together, and that's when he became abusive. First psychological and emotional, and then he started getting physical. We moved to Wisconsin, and soon after I filed for divorce. The court gave him full custody of our children. I tried to fight it, but I never saw my kids again. He began stalking me, so I moved to Chicago. I had a pen pal here and got in touch with her to see if she could help me find a place to live. I moved in with a friend of hers for a while, but my ex's stalking got so bad that she asked me to leave. I became homeless. I heard about the interim housing program at Sarah's Circle, so I got in touch. I now have a bed, and I'm working on getting housed. I'm really grateful for the case managers at Sarah's Circle. They try to raise morale with COVID going on. It's not easy. If I didn't have Sarah's Circle right now, I don't know what I would do.
Sometimes the problem of homelessness can seem overwhelming. We at Sarah's Circle understand how difficult it is to see people who are unhoused who need help. You might wonder what you can do to help. Please remember that homelessness is a solvable problem, and you are part of the solution. We at Sarah's Circle appreciate you taking the time to take this walk to better understand homelessness through the eyes of those who struggle with it personally. We look forward to greeting you in person again as soon as it is safe to do so. Until then, thank you for being part of Sarah's Circle's story. With your help, we will end homelessness for more women in Chicago. Now, please be safe getting home, and we hope you will tune in to the virtual Winter Walk program on Sunday, February 28th at 1 p.m. Thank you.